Now at 9, a purple wave. Nevada stays torn in the middle in the wake of midterm elections. How the newly elected officials will impact the state.
And a deadly shooting rocks the students at the University of Virginia. New details emerge after the deaths of 3 football players.
And tips and tricks to keep Thanksgiving costs low with Thanksgiving around the corner and costs rising.
Now, news that matters to you on campus and beyond. Live. You're watching Studio G.
Thank you for joining us on Studio G. My name is Christopher Clark.
And I'm Hector Solomon.
After the closest race in Nevada's history, for senator, we have a winner. Incumbent Catherine Cortez Masto, she becomes U.S. Senate in her second term over Republican challenger Adam Laxalt. This win for Masto secures a 50-seat majority in Congress and controls the chamber for the next 2 years of Joe Biden's presidency. Laxalt had an early lead in the race, but after the mail-in ballots came in, Masto gained that edge. And to give a scale on how close the race was, Masto won with 6,556 in her lead, which was a difference of 0.7%.
What a close race that was. And Nevada is truly a purple state in another close race, but this time with for the governor's office.
It was just easy to get in and just talk to people. And that's what I loved about it, is just the opportunity to talk with them and listen to their issues that matter to them and let them know that I understood.
And as you can see there, Nevada is truly a purple state in another close race, but this time for governor. Republican Joe Lombardo, the former sheriff, makes his victory over Democrat incumbent Steve Sisolak. Lombardo ultimately secured a narrow win with 48.9% over Sisolak's 47.3%. On Friday, Sisolak issued a statement to Lombardo calling voters to all come together. Sisolak's term will conclude on January 2nd when Lombardo will take his oath in office.
And Tuesday's classes at the University of Virginia, they're canceled in the wake of Sunday night shooting. CNN's Katie Lusso, she has more.
Silence deafening. Thousands side by side, some with flowers, others holding candles, all with unimaginable pain. Among them, Zoe.
I know a lot of people went to sleep very, very scared and woke up also more alarmed, and I, for one, was more alarmed because a really dear friend of mine was one of the victims, and that was really hard for me.
She says Deshaun Perry, one of the 3 students who were killed, was a dear friend.
He was much more than a football player. He was an amazing studio artist. He loved anime. He loved to cook, and was one of the most loyal people that you'd ever meet.
While extremely heartbroken, Zoe says she's also so grateful she had the time she did with Deshaun.
I wish that more people knew more about him. He was very reserved, but I think it was because he saved all of his love for those who were close to him. Yeah.
The annual ALS charity walk truck was stolen over the weekend. It contained patients' sentimental items, some of which are irreplaceable. The executive director of ALS Nevada chapter, Don Newberg, hopes to get all personal items returned to the patients. If you recognize the stolen truck or have any information, contact Metro Police immediately.
The governor's office announced Monday the chairman and executive director of the Nevada Gaming Control Board is resigning. J. Bryn Gibson will leave at the end of the month for new professional opportunities. Brittany Watkins will take over as chair and executive director and will regulate the state's casinos and gaming industry.
And the early snowfall is attracting an increase in visitors to Mount Charleston. Traffic authorities suggest to make the drive up earlier during the weekdays to beat that weekend traffic. They're also advising sledders to play in snow more than a foot deep and to stay in designated sledding areas such as Upper Lee Meadows. According to Forest Service worker Ray Johnson, he encourages people to pack clothes and stay up to date about road and weather conditions before making the drive. And as we see, we got some snow on Mount Charleston, but Jade, can you tell us, is today a good day to go to Mount Charleston? How cold is it out there right now?
Well, it is a good day to go to Mount Charleston if you want to see some snow, but it is very windy today, so be wary of that. And today we have wind speeds that could reach 25 miles per hour, and currently it's a 48 degrees temperature. Those are going to rise just a little bit. And for our evening planner, we're going to drop to 48 degrees, and it's going to get cold. And across the valley, we have temperatures that are pretty cold. On the outskirts, we have temperatures higher than on the in, but it will rise a little bit. It's going to be a chilly one and a windy one. That's all we have. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Jade. AED and Vitalant, they will host the last blood drive of the semester this Thursday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So the mobile van will be parked in front of the CBC building, and those who donate will receive a $10 Amazon gift card. To make an appointment, visit the Vitalant website and use the code UNLV.
And the UNLV student-run Bistro 410 will be open this week from 5 to 6:30 p.m. in the Stan Fulton building. Preset dinners range anywhere from between $11 to $14, and dinners are open to the public, but parties of 7 or more will require reservations. And a $1 million deal. See which hotel is offering packages worth millions for the F1 race. Coming up.
Even though we didn't grow up together, he's my favorite brother.
Hey, sis.
I'm the baby of the family, and he's the gentle giant.
What you know about Port Georgia?
Man, please, that's a classic.
You know when they say people are a rare breed? Yeah, he's that.
I'm sorry, I'll be back in a few hours.
Don't worry, Shug, you know I'm for you.
I know.
Go get the football.
That was my favorite memory. He was always for ya. This is a true story of me, Bridget Floyd, and this guy, George Perry Floyd Jr., my big brother.
And now, this is Studio G weather.
And welcome back. And November brought low temperatures, lows that are actually record high. As you see right here in the light blue, this is the coldest temperature it is out of all these colors. And November is bringing lows compared to records in Nevada. They are bringing lows. So November is coming in, and it's coming in hot. And tonight, if you have nothing to do, the Runnin' Rebels have a game, and tip-off is actually at 8 o'clock, but you can always be there early at 7:35. The game time temp is going to be 45 degrees, so make sure you bring your jacket as it is going to be cold. And for our 7-day, we have temperatures that are pretty consistent, staying in the low 60s, and those are not going to taper off as we head on, but we will look at the forecast and see if anything else changes. That's all we have for your weather. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Jade. Vegas is bringing $1 million packages for the multi-million-dollar Formula One race. According to the Wynn Las Vegas, they are offering $1 million all-access experience all race weekend long. The packages provide admission for up to 6 people, and those lucky few will receive access to the most exclusive VIP spaces. For each package purchased, F1 and the Wynn will make a donation of $100,000 to local charities.
And a busy weekend here in the Las Vegas Valley. Streaks were snapped and others were continued. We'll start with the silver and black. The Raiders have lost 3 straight following their loss against the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday by a score of 25-20.
So this led to Raiders quarterback Derek Carr getting emotional post-game. So let's have a listen.
Sorry for being emotional. I'm just pissed off about some of the things, you know, that a lot of us try and do just to practice what we put our bodies through just to sleep at night. And for that to be the result of all that effort pisses me off. And I wish everybody in that room felt the same way about this place. And as a leader, that pisses me off.
So the Vegas Golden Knights, they did not fare any better over the weekend. After extending their win streak to 9 games against Buffalo, the VGK returned home against the St. Louis Blues, losing 3-2 after 2 quick goals in the second period, put the Golden Knights down 1. Vegas plays again tonight at the Fortress against the San Jose Sharks. Puck drop, it comes at 7 p.m.
I just think the guys understand the demand, and I think that brings out the best in everybody. I think it comes that careful balance between being uncomfortable and comfortable, where that real growth zone happens, and I think that we've tried to trend on that a lot with our guys. The expectations to go to where we want to go, sure, that's exciting. That's what we're here for. You know, that's why we do what we do. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the group, the fans, yeah.
And UNLV football continued their losing skid Friday night against Fresno State, falling to the Bulldogs 37-30. The Rebels head to Hawaii to take on the Rainbow Warriors this Saturday.
And the Lady Rebels, they remain perfect on the year as well, beating Oral Roberts Friday night 100-84 in head coach Lindy LaRocque's return to the game following her birth of her child. The Lady Rebels hit the floor again at Cox Pavilion tomorrow. Tip-off for that is at 4 p.m.
And the men's Runnin' Rebels remained perfect through 2 games so far this year, beating the University of Incarnate Word Saturday afternoon with a final score of 88-63. The Runnin' Rebels look ahead to tonight, where number 21 Dayton will hit the hardwood at the Thomas & Mack. Tip-off for that comes at 7 p.m.
And if you need any extra incentives to come out and support the Rebels, there will be free Raising Canes for students and fans at the Dark Plaza and a glow-in-the-dark t-shirt to boot. So the giveaway starts at 6 p.m. The team is asking anyone who is planning to attend the game to please wear black.
Catch me there. Yeah. And your Thanksgiving dinner this year will be a whole lot pricier, and it's not just because inflation is forcing turkey prices to fly higher this year. CNN reporter Jen Sullivan shows us what else is driving up costs and 5 tips to manage to have an affordable meal.
Soaring food prices at the grocery store, extreme weather conditions, and now the highly contagious avian flu, impacting what's available and for how much at turkey farms.
Our world is changing. There's a lot of supply chain issues. There's a lot of new diseases.
It's all driving up the price of your favorite Thanksgiving dishes. According to market research firm IRI, your meal this 2022 is predicted to cost about 13.5% more compared to last year, from the turkey, stuffing, and even the pie on your holiday table.
The price of turkey is up about 40 cents a pound year over year, which is significant if you're buying a big bird for a big family.
HerMoney.com CEO Jean Chatzky says there are some easy ways to save money this year. First, she says don't skip the turkey, saying one bird can feed you for a week.
You make a turkey pot pie for the second night. You make turkey sandwiches for lunch.
Chatsky also has these 5 recommendations. 1. Buy frozen over fresh, since items are often cheaper and you can save for later. 2. Look for swaps, like buying canned items instead of making them fresh from scratch. 3. Shop around. Don't be too loyal to one store and go where the deals are. 4. Save on alcohol by stretching it out and serving spritzers and punch instead. And finally, don't be a hero. Assign side dishes for others to bring.
Assign the drinks, assign the desserts, and it cost each individual person a lot less and didn't bust the budget for anybody.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
We'll take you with us for a look around the world in all national news after this.
If you're a parent, you've done it all this past year. But the one thing you may not have done is take care of yourself. At Boys Town, we know that a parent's mental health is important too. Visit boystown.org/stressedout for great self-care tips for parents. You can even download an ebook to guide you and your family through self-care strategies. Because healthy parents are key to happy families.
And we're taking a live look now from Tokyo, where it's a little after 2:30 a.m. Wednesday morning. With 14 million residents, it's the most populated city in the world, but now this could change.
And according to the United Nations, the world population will reach 8 billion people today, representing a milestone in human development. The unprecedented growth is due to the improvements in public health, medicine, and nutrition.
The US president and Chinese leader meet for 3 hours in Bali. This is their first encounter since Biden took office. CNN reporter Selena Wang has the details.
Touching down in Bali for a high-stakes meeting between the world's two most powerful leaders. U.S. President Joe Biden's first face-to-face meeting since taking office with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Xi telling Biden the U.S.-China relationship isn't meeting the world's expectations.
I look forward to working with you, Mr. President, to bring China-U.S. relations back to the track of healthy and stable growth.
After the meeting, Biden tells the press,
I do not think there's any imminent attempt on the part of China to invade Taiwan.
But despite the optimistic tone and smiles, the possibility of armed conflict still looms. Xi, just days before, wearing camouflage uniform at a military command center in Beijing, telling China's army to prepare for war. His visit met with excited applause from top military officials. Beijing has stepped up pressure on self-ruled Democratic Taiwan after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited the island in August, firing repeated missiles and encircling Taiwan in a practice blockade. Xi vowing to reunify the island that China sees as a breakaway province, using force if necessary.
Yes, we have a commitment to do that.
Meanwhile, Biden infuriating Beijing with his repeated comments that America would come to Taiwan's aid in the event of a Chinese invasion.
Brief Taiwan.
Washington promising to brief Taiwanese officials on the outcome of the Biden-Xi meeting, angering Beijing even more.
This is truly egregious, and China firmly rejects this.
State media writing, facts show that the U.S. understanding of the red line of China-U.S. relations is far from adequate. That tense atmosphere, a far cry from the smiles and warm handshakes during their many meetings back when Biden was vice president.
I spent more time with any other world leader. I know him well, he knows me.
But that personal relationship, not enough to bridge the chasm between the two countries. The Biden administration labeling China as America's most consequential geopolitical challenge, enacting sweeping restrictions that choke off China's access to advanced computer chips. Beijing sees all of this as Washington trying to suppress its rise. As Xi aligns himself with other autocratic leaders like Russia's Vladimir Putin, China and the U.S. have agreed to keep lines of communication open between top officials. It could be what stops a miscalculation between the world's superpowers from spiraling into real conflict. Selena Wang, CNN, Beijing.
And a city that Russian President Vladimir Putin said would be Russia's forever, now firmly in Ukrainian hands, and its residents couldn't be happier about it. A euphoric moment, as you see here, for the people of Kherson as people celebrate their liberation in the square while proudly waving the Ukrainian flag. While damages still need to be restored, like internet connections, the residents will celebrate their newfound freedom.
A crypto collapse. See which celebrities lost millions over a crypto investment. Next.
This is CJ, CEO of CJ's Produce. I'm the muscle, she's the brains.
It works.
My great-grandfather acquired Brantley Estates in the early 1950s. Mama Tia is my grandmother. She was actually the first in the family to get vaccinated. I was afraid. I came up with every excuse. My grandmother got her shot. I saw how strong she was. Why can't I? CJ needs his father to show him how to become a man. So I am fully vaccinated. I have somebody counting on me, so we made the leap.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
The cryptocurrency FTX is under a crisis following its collapse. Early Monday morning, CNN reporter Christine Romans has more.
The implosion of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX, one of the most powerful figures in the industry, has left investors grappling with the aftershocks.
How much of this is effectively an empty, product?
FTX's CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, is facing multiple investigations after reports that he mishandled billions of dollars in customer funds, causing the 30-year-old to see his own $16 billion fortune erased overnight. Now the stunning collapse reverberating across the trillion-dollar industry. Gwyneth Paltrow, Reese Witherspoon, Kim Kardashian, and Matt Damon among the celebrities who have endorsed the crypto craze.
With 4 simple words that have been whispered by the intrepid since the time of the Romans. Fortune favors the brave.
So does fortune favor the brave? For those that invested $1,000 in Crypto.com when actor Matt Damon started touting it just over a year ago, that investment is now worth less than $300 today, dropping almost 70%. Bloomberg reporting that billionaire Mark Cuban's investment in the Titan token tumbled 99% this August. Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady bought an equity stake in the now failed FTX.
You know what? I'm in.
Along with Brady, tennis Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka, basketball star Steph Curry, and baseball Hall of Famer David Ortiz among top athletes who will reportedly lose millions with the collapse of FTX.
Whoa, Moom, slow down. You getting into crypto? With FTX?
But no franchise took a bigger hit than the Miami Heat basketball team, who terminated their 19-year, $135 million naming rights deal with FTX, leaving them scrambling for a new sponsorship partner 1 month into the season.
And longtime comedian and late-night host Jay Leno is recovering from burns after a gasoline fire. According to Variety, he was working on a vehicle in his garage when it burst into flames. Leno has told the magazine that he is okay, but will need a week or 2 to fully recover. And we're looking at a live shot of Doha, downtown Qatar, a little bit after 8 p.m. The World Cup will start this Sunday. Qatar will be in the first game as the host nation. They will take on Ecuador in the opening match. And Chris, I got to tell you, I'm really excited about this World Cup because this, for the first time, it seems like in my adult life, the U.S. is sending a very competitive team to the World Cup, and I mean, I'm just excited to see what happens.
Yeah, they're an exciting squad for sure. I mean, obviously, like Christian Pulisic is going to be, or Captain America.
Captain America.
Yeah, he's going to be leading the charge, but they got a lot of like exciting midfielders, a lot of young attackers. So yeah, it's going to be like great.
A very young team. So I mean, we might see the nucleus of this team not only in this World Cup, but the following one, and 2024, or when we or 2026, excuse me, when we host it here.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see kind of how. Will they rise to the occasion, or will they, not be there and kind of, flop, if you will?
And speaking of the U.S., in Qatar, next Friday, November 25th, we will see somewhat of a rivalry match between the U.S. and England.
Yes.
Chris, how are you feeling about this one coming up?
Well, I'm going to be neutral. I'll be in neutral colors for that one. We're going to the Crown and Anchor, the pub for that one. So,
really?
So it'll be good. A little bit of banter and. There's usually some England fans in there as well. So
well, it must be easy to stay neutral, I guess, with both colors being red, white, and blue. I guess if just wear a certain color scheme, you might be able to simulate.
I'll just wear black.
Exactly. Wear the same thing you can wear tonight for the Rebels basketball game at the pub on next Friday.
I will be there as well. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game as well, playing Dayton. Yeah, number 21.
Yeah, so, and I mean, everything from the World Cup to F1 coming next year. I mean, I think Las Vegas is now becoming like the capital city of sports.
Yeah, there's a lot of sports. There's a lot of sports for sure. But anyway, thank you for joining us today on Studio G.
Yes, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you for joining us. See you tomorrow morning.